Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, this video is going to be a little bit different than what you normally see on my channel. Normally, all of my videos have been art doll related, and I'm realizing very quickly that that cannot stay that way. I'm realizing that I've been doing art dolls for nearly 10 years. I think I'm at like 9 years now that I've been making art dolls, and that's the only art form that I've ever done. I haven't changed, I haven't done anything, haven't dabbled into anything else for almost 10 years. And I'm realizing, like, starting to do the YouTube channel that, okay, I think I need to do a little bit of something else because I don't want to lose the passion I have for my art dolls, but I need to be able to dabble into something else to keep that art passion alive, try something new. So I'm trying to like do a little bit of dabble, and that's what brings us to this video, because I also realized since I've done art dolls for 9 years, I haven't done a normal sculpture in almost 10 years, which is like crazy for me to think about. The last and I looked up pictures, the last sculpture I did, I'll put a picture here. It is this, you know, it's a little something. It's still cute, okay? It's still cute, but clearly I've improved a lot since then, and I want to see what it would be like to mix 3D aspects, since like I'm really into 3D lately. I'm really curious, what would I do now with my clay sculpting skills that I have now, with 3D sculpting at my disposal and 3D printer, like what would that look like if I did a sculpture today? So that is what we're going to be doing in this video, and we are going to be making a sky whale, since whales are really underappreciated and they're very beautiful animals. I would really love to make one. So let's get started. But before that, guys, I won't lie, I'm a teensy bit nervous posting this video, because I know YouTube does not like change, and it's scary to post different content on your channel. But if you guys do enjoy it, please do all the interactables. Could you like it? Could you comment? Could you do all the little things? I would very much appreciate it. Okay, let's get started. So I chose 3D sculpting for 2 reasons. The first being I could hollow out the inside of the whale. I needed this to be as light as possible, as I was going for a kind of floating in the air vibe, and on top of that I was going to add clay on later on, which is going to add more weight. So making it as light as possible right out of the gate is going to give me the best chances of it not flopping over. The second was so that I can control the size of it. It's no secret here that I end up making things way bigger than I originally intend, and that usually bites me in the butt. But with 3D sculpting and printing, I can print exactly as big or as small as I want. Now, I didn't want to go too detailed with the 3D aspect. I wanted this to be essentially a base or form that I could build off of. I wanted to add all the little details and extra little feathers and wings that I wanted for the sky whale later on, so I just made sure to keep it as simple as possible and just get the anatomical form right, because references, people, references. And to be honest, I just didn't have faith in my ability to do it all in 3D, and me crying in the corner doesn't make for amazing content. Once I finished sculpting the base and posed it, I brought it into the print software to prepare for printing. And I'm pretty excited, as the wonderful folks from Elegoo sent me some goodies to try out for this video. So let's go unbox them and see what goodies they gave me. Gloves, maskums, this air purifier. Oh, okay, wait a minute. I am not opposed to that sound. The prints turned out beautifully with no fail, so clearly it's stupid proof, aka me proof. Once glued together, it's time to add all the details, and for that I'm going to be using epoxy sculpt, which is the bane of my existence. I thought about just using polymer clay, but something tells me that putting resin in the oven isn't the smartest idea. So I used epoxy sculpt as it cures on its own when you mix both sides together. Now, I hated this stuff out of the gate, and I'm pretty sure it's because I had a super old batch and was definitely on its way out and I was still trying to use. I know this because I ran out of it and I had to go order more, and when I got it I was like, wait a minute, why is this stuff way softer and easier? It's pretty sus. But whatever, I just went with it. When making this piece, I took big inspiration from these two artists in particular. I loved all the textures they put into the work and how they painted them and just the overall design of their pieces. They are really, really good. You should go check out both artists. I highly recommend them. I didn't have a concrete plan, nor did I want one, because I wanted to make sure that I just went with the flow and added whatever texture or detail I wanted anywhere on the body. It was pretty much, I had a general idea of what the vibe I was going for, and then I just kind of went for it, because it's the go for it method here, folks. I tried adding wings and feathers all over to aid in the whole sky whale vibe I was going for, but I think a lot of the little feathers just kind of look like scales. Oh well. And everything was going so well, and then tragedy struck.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it.
It's fine. It's fine. We just glue it back together, put a little bit of epoxy sculpt over it so it acts like nothing ever happened and nothing ever broke. It's fine, guys. It's fine. I'm just gonna keep on going. Moving on from the tragedy that shall not be named, I added some wing-like feathers on the fins and tail, and now I ponder the question, does the whale swim through the sky or flap? Painting was a little bit of a roller coaster for me, but let's be honest, my entire videos are usually a roller coaster. I primed the whale in white, and then my first attempt was to try to go for something pastel and opal-like. In my head, it was a good idea. It was definitely pale like I wanted, pastel like I wanted, and fantasy like I wanted. But I think I just kind of picked something and went with it, and while that does work sometimes, and the piece doesn't look bad per se, it just wasn't the result I was looking for. And I tried to force it because I did not want to repaint this. But after sitting on it for a day, I decided to repaint over the hours of painting I had did before, and it hurt, and I was a grump bus, but I'm so glad I did, and I love the piece that much more now. It may be heckin' annoying, but sometimes redoing something and not settling is the best thing you could do for yourself in your art, even though we certainly don't like it at the time. So I redid the whale in washes of sunset color theme and paid more close attention to the way I gradiented it, the way I transitioned the colors between each other so that they made more sense and were more cohesive with each other and just looked more pleasing to the eye. And then I went over that with a dry brush and just dry brushed white over all the details and feathers just to make them pop even more. And I love how this turned out. And it's exactly what I wanted. A dreamy sky theme whale that was just fantasy and pretty to look at. Since this whole thing was new to me, when it came to the base, I wanted to keep it simple. So I just took a block of wood, primed it, and painted the same gradient of sunset colors the whale had. And then I just lined the edges in black. To attach the whale to said base, I dremeled a hole with much fear that I would somehow destroy the whole thing because I am absolutely dramatic, for a clear acrylic rod to be glued inside, high enough from the base to give that floating look that I want. I tried a few things for the clouds involving cotton balls. The first round was too bright of a white for a sunset theme, and then when I tried airbrushing it, it looked really weird. So when in doubt, go to 3D printing. All the little clouds going for their bath. Don't float. You're not supposed to float. I mean, you're a cloud. You float, but like, don't float now. Float later. Hey, start. Woo. I base coated these new clouds in a pale orange and dry brushed the very tops to look like the clouds are being lit by the setting sun. I also kind of wanted to eat them, but I resisted the forbidden fluff. Final accessory I wanted for the whale was a flock of birds. To attach them to the whale and clouds, I used a hand drill to make holes in varying angles on the bird and the whale, and then I got the tiniest acrylic rods I could find and attached everything together using UV resin. Now, I'll hush up for the rest of this video so you guys can enjoy the assembly of it all. And with the last bird added, this piece is finally complete and we can take a look at the final montage.